Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right, so I'm going to be giving a talk today about how AI can meet DeFi, and in particular how KAVA, a layer 1 blockchain, is implementing AI on its current layer 1 model. Okay, so just a brief background on KAVA. So KAVA is actually one of the first Cosmos blockchains to launch. I know Korea's had a lot of interest in the Cosmos ecosystem for the last 5 years. So KAVA got its start in 2019 when it launched full-on Binance, doing a Binance IDO. It was the 2020 Binance Launchpad Project of the Year. And it started off by doing DeFi, creating DeFi on top of the Cosmos blockchain with its DNA in interoperability. So KAVA was the first blockchain to ship CDPs, or vaults. It was the first blockchain to produce interoperable lending platform called KAVA Lend, which trades on Binance today, as well as swap functionality, all built natively on the Cosmos SDK. And then about a year after that, it launched an EVM and has over 100 EVM dApps deployed on the network. One of the main focuses of KAVA has been around interoperability and native asset issuance. So KAVA, being around for 4 years now, almost 5 years, has secured some of the biggest partnerships. So it has a native integration with Tether. Tether chose KAVA as the hub for USDT on the Cosmos. So any native USDT that you see on the Cosmos Hub or Osmosis or any other Cosmos chain has been issued directly on KAVA. BitGo as well, the issuer of WBTC, chose KAVA to issue native WBTC that can also be pushed throughout the Cosmos. And to date, there's something like 160 million natively issued USDT on KAVA throughout the Cosmos, as well as a bunch of WBTC. In addition, a really important part of asset liquidity and asset safety is not just native distribution, native integration, but also distribution. And so KAVA's secured integration with Binance to process USDT and WBTC transactions. And it's KAVA's the only one of 3 chains to have USDT and WBTC, period. So it's ETH, Tron, and KAVA. And then KAVA and Ethereum are the only chains to have that distribution on Binance. This is important when you want users and institutional folks to be able to move large amounts of assets around safely. As a result, KAVA is the 5th largest USDT chain, 8th largest ecosystem by number of dApps deployed on the EVM. It's got over $100 million in its community pool. As I mentioned, one of 3 chains, native USDT and WBTC. It's done over 2.5 billion in asset transfers cross-chain. We've been doing it since 2000 with, or 2001 with 500 million assets on chain, super cheap transactions, and then importantly, a seamless cross-chain architecture. So we started with IBC throughout the Cosmos ecosystem, and then with the integration of the EVM, working with partners like Axelar and Layer 0 to be able to do general message passing to Ethereum. Now a user can take a USDT on Arbitrum and send it over to the Cosmos Hub through KAVA seamlessly. And we're the only chain. So as such, a proper modern layer 1 DeFi ecosystem that has integrations with all the largest players in the space, Fireblocks and BitGo for security, Coinbase, Binance, Kraken, every exchange for asset on-off ramp, including here in Korea. And so now the big thing that's being launched towards the end of the year is an AI on KAVA that can directly benefit the DeFi ecosystem that already exists, as well as extend that through the cross-chain rails that KAVA already has to other networks on Ethereum and on Cosmos. And so we'll talk about how that's going to be deployed on KAVA in a moment, but just going to give a really quick cursory overview of how the AI ecosystem works outside of crypto, so that you can see how it can be applied within crypto. So at a high level, there's a lot of obviously chatter around AI right now. It basically breaks down into three core categories. There's the application layer. This is ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, XAI. There's cloud and on-prem compute, so where the training actually happens. This is done by Google Cloud, AWS, CoreWeave, Lambda, and then the actual hardware manufacturers, NVIDIA, AMD, and others that are coming out. And the kind of killer app of AI generally is the application layer. So these large language models that power chatbots that you can go ask all kinds of questions and get meaningful, real answers from. That's kind of taking over right now. So if we zoom in on the application layer, at a high level, these are basically large language models that use a number of techniques stacked on top of each other to optimize results. But if you take it and just zoom it out into focus on is really what it comes down to is the number of parameters or weights in these models. And over time, the number of weights have increased exponentially. So you can see a chart here. In 2013, 2014, there were large language models that couldn't really do much. And they've hit a critical point now where the responses are meaningful. And a very interesting key insight in here is that there doesn't seem to be an upper bound to the number of parameters in these models. They can just continue to get more intelligent as long as there's compute backing it. And a good way to test the intelligence of these models is by running them through a number of different heuristics or tests to be able to see how good it is at code generation or reasoning or QA. And there's a number of frameworks that are used to assess the level of intelligence for the models that have come out. So that's the application layer generally. And then at the compute layer, you basically need these massive amounts of GPUs that are wired together with high latency and low throughput to be able to act as one gigantic GPU to train these models in any sort of reasonable time frame. And as a little bit of trivia, ChatGPT's last ChatGPT-4 used something like 25,000 NVIDIA GPUs, which is something like $150 million in GPUs. So this is not low stakes for any thing that prohibits a lot of projects from being able to actually train models because you just don't have $100 million to train something in a week, and it doesn't make sense to train something in a year. And then at the hardware level, you've got producers like NVIDIA who just released that NVIDIA GTC a few months ago, the Blackwells, which represent a 1000x increase in FOPS, or basically compute, from 2016. So if you take a step back and look at this industry, at each one of the layers, you're seeing it grow at an exponential rate. And what this means is that these models are going to continue to get more intelligent, and they're going to pervade into every industry, including blockchain. And so with that, KAVA actually in Token 2049 in a couple of weeks is going to launch KAVA AI. KAVA AI is a decentralized AI network developed on KAVA. And KAVA AI powers a cross-chain AI marketplace. The key here is to, so there's a lot of AI companies that are coming out right now within crypto. The big differentiator between KAVA and almost any other AI project that you see is that KAVA already has a robust layer 1 ecosystem with users using it on the Cosmos and EVM side, and hooks from that ecosystem into the Cosmos ecosystem and into the various Ethereum ecosystems. So it's not starting from scratch. There's already a ton of users who can benefit from these AI tools, and then these tools can be used to draw more users in. The key thing that we're going to be focusing on here is the development of the release of the decentralized AI that can compete with these other models at order of approximation against these different heuristics in intelligence. deployed not on centralized servers owned by these folks, but on the blockchain itself. And we'll be launching particular applications that are going to help out users today. So one of the first ones that we're going to be launching in 2049 is the ability for users to deploy meme coins onto KAVA. So instead of having to think about a meme coin and go and look up some code, you can literally just interact at chat.kava.io and say, I want to make money deploying a meme coin, and the AI will generate for you a meme coin ticker and all of the Solidity code that you would need to be able to deploy it, and a tokenomics store that you can interact with the AI to figure out exactly what you want, and then go and actually deploy it. So this is going to get released pretty soon. The goal here is to today benefit users who are already trying to deploy meme coins onto the KAVA ecosystem and the dexes that are on KAVA, as well as bring new users in to be able to do that more easily. And so just some high-level things around KAVA AI is so just like any other large language model, advanced reasoning across modalities, doesn't have to just be meme coins. You can ask it any question that you want. It's going to give you sensible answers. Code generation is going to be very important within crypto. Just having a system that gets Solidity is able to produce those smart contracts for you and allow you to deploy them in ways that are often more secure than a sort of medium level or low level folks are deploying code. Language processing, and then importantly, decentralized development. So KAVA AI stands in stark contrast to centralized AI development that is entirely closed source, entirely secret sauce. Basically, they don't want users to know at all how it works. This is going to be completely open source and governed by the KAVA community. And then a natural extension after we ship in Q3 and Q4 KAVA AI is to use the rails that we already have with IBC message passing to Cosmos and general message passing to Ethereum to allow what's being built on KAVA to be accessed not only for folks within the KAVA ecosystem, but within the Ethereum ecosystem, the Cosmos ecosystem as well. And so these are things like ease of deployment, seamless integration with KAVA applications, and the advanced security that's already come with KAVA having upwards of 1 billion assets on it in the past. And so cross-chain and distribution of this AI marketplace is going to be very important in growing the amount of adoption that this thing's going to get and then here's just some high-level things for what users are going to be doing with AI. So as I showed there, meme coin generation, we're going to be doing competitions to generate a bunch of meme coins on KAVA. NFT collections, you can interact with the AI to build out NFTs and have those be deployed without having to worry too much about your own artistic ability. And then language processing for transaction queries, so changing the way in which you interact. You can ask questions like, what was the largest whale to trade on the Kinetics Dex in the last 2 weeks? And it's going to be able to fetch that information from you as opposed to cobbling things together on a number of block stores. And then why is KAVA doing this? Why is KAVA making the AI? And I think importantly, KAVA has the resources to do it. So it's got a community pool with over $100 million, which is actually sufficient to be able to train models at scale. When I was at that GTC conference in San Francisco, there's a lot of startups there that just don't have, the tens of millions of dollars to actually train models. KAVA has the resources to do that. KAVA has experience in deep building ecosystems. We've already built a very robust ecosystem for DeFi. We're just going to take that know-how and apply it to the AI space. KAVA is AI value. KAVA AI is value add for DeFi today. So there's already a bunch of DeFi users using KAVA today. We're just going to make it easier for those users already on KAVA to be able to do what they do. And then it's a new use case in the KAVA token, which has historically been proof of stake coin. Now it can be used for DeFi and other things that are getting built out on the KAVA network. Timeline for this. This should actually be Q3. It's a signaling proposal that's coming out. We're launching in a couple of weeks with the AI marketplace coming after that, and then some the network stuff coming in Q1, Q2 of next year. So at a high level, there's a lot of AI stuff that's coming out in the crypto space. Unlike a lot of those companies, KAVA already has a robust network with integrations with Tether, WBTC, and integrations with Cosmos and Ethereum. We're dropping an AI system on top of that, benefiting users today and allowing users within those other ecosystems that already use KAVA for native assets to be able to have access to the AI that gets deployed on KAVA for 3 weeks. So we're excited if you guys want to join in our development of the most powerful AI in AI marketplace. You can follow us at KAVA Chain, and all the links, including the chatbot that will be up in a couple of weeks, is at kava.io. Thank you guys.